telecom service in Switzerland is a bit particular. We actually try to be as environmentally friendly as possible, especially because of a strong part of the nature being part of the ecosystem. And keeping this in mind, basically we try to also not use cars to the majority of the time. If we can reduce lead time interacting between troubleshoot tickets and actually move from one client straight to the next without passing by the office to actually fetch some paperwork which we need for the next client, then we can actually get into a great advantage, which is for us an environmental aspect as well.
The dispatching process before the cloud solution was much more manually. We had to write down everything on paper, so it means this every day about 3 hours of work instead of having all automatically on an electronic way.
The people in the field actually started almost to be ambassadors for a kind of change in this direction before we even put forward the first task force. What happened that people who were perhaps more grown up with IT technologies actually said, why don't we try to look into a solution where we go slightly away from the paper-based handling of troubleshoot tickets and deal with some of the matters in an electronic way. So this helped us tremendously to actually take those people on board, familiarize them with the situation that's about to be implemented and enable them to be ambassadors for their colleagues and for the entire workforce that we have in Switzerland. The main challenges we faced, I would say, were generally organizational, because people are relatively resistant to change, and the other is a technical aspect. We had to interconnect those systems, and those systems are not constructed to work together. So we had to also look at the ecosystem which was around us, mainly on our biggest client, and fulfill the requirements they had to make those systems connect.
Everything has been centralized. Before, we had different types of applications. To see where the site was, you had to use this application. To see the orders of the tickets, you had to use another application. So with this new cloud storage, everything has been put to one application and makes it much easier for us.
You need to think well before how you want to design the system in the long term. You will look at interconnecting a couple of systems, and then you realize that 6 months down the line you're going to get another client mandate which requires how you handle a certain troubleshoot ticket, information that you need to provide, and make provisions for those kind of information as early as possible. So don't limit it down too much to precise details. Try to find a standardized solution that you can customize depending on the client mandate, but don't break it down into the last little detail, because at the end of the day it's going to literally hit back at you, because you will be too detail-oriented and you will be too focused on one solution and will have to sacrifice handling the ticket for another client which might not have the same requirements. So how do we measure success? We can measure success on a system side, so we can actually look at how fast the trouble ticket is dealt with, from the entry of the ticket to the diagnose to the completion of the ticket and finalized by the billing of the ticket. There we can look at least 25% reduction in lead time. So the immediate effect of for us is of course the cash flow, because we are able to invoice more quickly the work we have done. The project has been a tremendous success when we see especially the financial indicators, and at the same time the success people have in adopting these new solutions, how happy they are. So the satisfaction of the people is also there, because they can focus on the work, and this is what the core thing that they enjoy doing. That's why they're here.